Welcome back to my channel for another episode of Plan With Me Monday. So you're staring at my lesson plans right now, which is in OneNote, and I'm planning out next week, which we're going to be doing community helpers. So every Monday I sit down with my team and we plan out the following week so that we can start prepping everything in advance. Even though I'm doing distance learning, I still meet weekly, daily, depending on it, with my team. So right now you're looking inside of my OneNote, and here we're going to be doing community helper. So all of my information that I'm getting from right now is coming from the My Pre-K Teachers Toolkit monthly membership. And if I scroll down here, I have community helper and our neighborhood, and then also comes with a bunch of other stuff. When I grow up, it comes with a craft, it comes with a lot of different other things too, but primarily I'm going to be focusing on these two products right here that I'm going to be using next week for my community helper lesson plan. So let me go back to my lesson plan. So if you look here, the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be reading When I Grow Up. And what I like about this book is it's animated for when I'm reading a book on the virtual platform. Sometimes it's really hard to keep children's interest. So with this story, I am able to capture their attention because it is animated. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so we're in the book, so I'm able to share it up on my screen, which I love being able to do that, especially when I'm teaching remotely. And as it comes up, I'm able to read the words, the pictures pop up, which I love. So When I Grow Up, and it's animated for the little guy to come in and they can identify what it is before I press and read. So when I grow up, I want to be and the police officer. Let's see, is it a police officer? I can be a police officer. When I grow up, I can be, what are you? I can be a firefighter. Excellent. Exactly. So that's what I love about this book is I can capture their attention. It's animated. They're waiting for something to pop in as I'm controlling the slideshow. It can go as fast as I want. I can go as slow as I want. And it's just a great way to capture their attention while I'm teaching remotely. Okay, so after we're done reading the story, I'm going to be introducing the letter B next week. And me introducing the letter B flows right in perfectly with community helper because we're learning about dentists, doctors, police officers, firefighters. And with my introducing the letter B, I can make them pretend like they're brushing their teeth because they're going to the dentist. So let me show you that slide really quick so you can see what that looks like as well, because there again, I'm teaching remotely and it captures their attention. Okay, so I'm going to present this screen and there again, they're going to see this. I'm going to go now. Every time you guys see the letter B, because I've already introduced, this is what we're working on. It's the letter B. This is what it sounds like. Yada, 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 yada. And then we're going to, every time you see the letter B, I want you to pretend like you're brushing your teeth. And the great thing about this is I can also be assessing my children as we're doing it because the ones that are partaking, I know they're recognizing it because they're going to be brushing their teeth. So as it pops in, different letters are going to pop up, and every time they see the letter T, they're going to pretend like they're brushing their teeth and brush their teeth. And then when we're done with that product, we're going to be following up our story and having that conversation again for our activity, which we do at the end of every meeting. And they're going to be drawing a picture about what they want to be when they grow up. So, which is going to be on this sheet that I'm sending home. So, and then after we're done doing that, I do daily recordings. And then since I introduced the letter B, we already did the pretend we're brushing our teeth. There's another one within that packet in that membership that shows beginning sounds and they're able to pretend like they're brushing their teeth, and then they're making letter cards. So that is for Monday. Then on Tuesday, so Mondays I kind of flip back and forth between language math, language math, language math, making sure that I'm getting their basics in during our Google Meet, since we're not have as many enrichment activities as we would within the classroom. So I'm making sure that I'm touching bases on everything that I know they need to have to be successful next year in kindergarten. So for our math, the first thing we're going to be doing, since we already are talking about community helpers, we're going to be doing a pocket chart. And the pocket chart is going to be this one here, where they're sorting if you use it if a doctor would use it or if they would not use it. So it's going to be a pocket chart, and we're just going to be talking about the different tools that they could be using in a doctor's office. And then we're going to continue on with some more activities for math. So here we did sorting, kind of an activity for them. And then we're going to continue on with another activity for subitizing amounts with 10 frames. And there again, they're going to have their sheet that they can identify the amount and then write it on their sheet. So that would be an activity. And then we're going to follow it up with a book reading on the dot book. And then they're going to be doing a dot drawing. So there again, this is an animated slideshow that I can present during my Google Meets, which is really a great way, like I said, to capture children's attention. So let's see, here it is. It's right here. So let me do a slideshow real quick so you can kind of see what it looks like for them. So they have a number sheet 1 through 10, and then this is popping up and they're identifying the amount. And what I'm really trying to encourage now that we're in this time of the year is not trying to count the dots and trying to visually subitizing their memory skills on what is that amount by just a glance and see if they can do it. If they can't, then obviously we're having them count the dots to see what they come up with as their amount, and then they're finding it on their sheet and they are marking it down. So there again, I can visually see them. So there's a sheet that they have here that they'll be doing. And then we're going back into language here again, and there again, we're reading another story about community helpers and their clothing, and they're trying to identify whose clothes they are within the community. It's just a fun book. We're going to be reviewing beginning sounds. So I'm only going to be reviewing beginning sounds with the letters that I've already introduced. I don't want to overwhelm them. So I'm only introducing sounds that we have already introduced. And then we're following up that activity with a letter formation activity using their whiteboards. So I know they all have whiteboards at home, and we're going to be doing this activity with their whiteboard. And let's see, I have it right here. So let me show you what that would look like for them as we're doing it. They have their whiteboards in their hand. They identify the letter. I'm talking about how we form the letter G, start at the top, curve around, go up, make a line. We're explaining and demonstrating to them how to write the letters that they are seeing as the mailman comes along. So that is another activity that we will be doing to enhance at the end as a follow-up. And then they're going to be using their letter board, and they're going to then do a video for me on Class Dojo of reading the letters that they wrote. Then the following day, we're going to be doing another firehouse one. We're going to be doing an activity with who is missing. So community helpers are going to appear. They're going to identify all of them. And then the next slide, one of those community helpers is gone, and they need to tell me who that community helper person is that's gone. And then we're doing another activity for just beginning to introduce them to measurement, which we'll be continuing with our community helper with measurement, and then we'll be going into measurement again with transportation. But this is just kind of a little a little intro to them to understand that you can measure with objects, you can measure with a ruler, introducing them to the measuring tools, and then we're doing that as an activity together. Then for their pre-recorded video, we're going to be watching this YouTube video of where are you going, and it's places that they can go in the community. And then we're following that up with a map drawing activity where they draw their house and then they draw things that they might see within their own neighborhood. So that's pretty much sums it all up for what I'm going to be doing next week for Community Helper. And like I said, I'm gathering all of the information that I'm using will be coming from this Community Helper group time activities, and then also this Community Helper packet that I can use for my small group interventions that I also do with my kids. That's just a totally different plan of what I do. But these activities that are printed out, and I can use my Osmo, and I can be showing them in smaller groups for those small group interventions, enrichments, depending on where the children are at. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the subscribe button below. Leave me a comment if you found this helpful and maybe some other things that you would like to see me explain to you, or how I create things, anything that you would like to have on this channel. Please leave a comment below and I'll make sure that I answer and I look at all comments made in the comment section below. So until next time, guys, thank you for joining me for a Plan With Me Monday.